NottsRockCast is an association with Regular Riot. Welcome to NottsRockCast, the Notts Alternative Scene podcast. And here is your host, Jethro D, bringing you everything Notts and rock.
So we're back again for another NottsRockCast over YouTube. This week we've got NRC-043, and it's a band that I thoroughly enjoy, and the guys in this band are absolutely down-to-earth gents. So anyway, as always, hit that subscribe button and ding that bell to be notified when we get more podcasts.
Right, welcome. Today I'm here with Those Once Loyal, and I'm with three members. Do you want to introduce yourselves and tell us what you play?
Yeah, I'm Matt, I play vocals.
I'm Oscar, I'm the lead guitarist.
I'm William, I play the drums.
Cool. So, who wants to kick off and tell us what your band is and what genre?
Well, basically, we're a metalcore sort of with hardcore influence based on our singer from the heart of Nottingham. We've been around for, I say, as this sort of setup for about a year or so now. And we've been on the scene for quite a bit, working with IKE personally to get us most of our gigs and everything.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do is reinvigorate sort of the old core sound, because a lot of the modern sort of version of it is just an endless number of breakdowns on a 7-string. So we're trying to bring back the old melodic roots with more influences of sort of hardcore styles as well.
Yeah, that's really good.
Mm-hmm. So more like we got described as Trivium meets Hatebreed, which is a pretty good combination. Good. Yeah, I'd say. Yeah.
All our fancies. Isn't it?
Cool. I do like to ask everyone to give a quote of inspiration. Is there anything that you guys say to each other before you go on stage to cheer yourselves up?
Don't screw up. Have you got my sample pad?
Sample pad?
Yeah. No, I broke 2 sticks in one song last night, and I've always got one under each bum cheek just because it's easier to grab when I drop it off. Yeah, sounds dodgy.
To be fair, it works.
Yeah, but last night, one song, I broke one stick, it literally shattered in my hand, so that went, carried on, grabbed the other one, and I dropped one, and I was clenching onto them for dear life, because if I dropped one of them, then I'd have to walk over to my stick back mid-song. That'd have been a bit awkward.
Hang on, just 2 seconds. We're going to have a guitar solo right about here.
An extended breakdown.
Yeah, like, stand around him, no.
Do that, use my cap. Yeah, that'd have been fun.
Any inspirational quotes for everyone on stage? I don't know. We don't really sort of say much before we go on stage.
We do talk to each other.
Oh, of course, yeah. We're not like enemies.
No, it's like strange. Yeah.
I don't know. I always just say enjoy the journey, enjoy the moment, because we're doing what we love. We're doing something that we really enjoy.
Yeah.
And so I just say enjoy the moment. Don't worry about if we don't bring in any people or no one really likes us. Just do our thing, enjoy it. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Basically.
Well, it's basically play as if there's 5 people or 50 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the merit of your music isn't dictated by the size of your crowd.
Yeah.
Basically.
I see so many bands and they come on stage and they're just sort of like playing. They are aware that there's 5 people in the room and they're playing like we just don't care. And no, it's not what we want to do.
One of the reasons I take my glasses off, I can't see anything. I usually see one.
That's the biggest crowd we've ever played in front of. It's like there's 2 people.
There's the guitarist's girlfriend and the other one.
I think that's absolutely brilliant, and I've talked about it several times in the past month. I heard on one podcast, they said exactly what you said. It doesn't matter whether it's 5 people, 10 people, or 120 people plus.
Yeah.
You know, then 5 or 10 people will know 20 people, and it's either a couple of hundred people hearing you were shit, or a couple of hundred people hearing you're the most awesome band, and then you're 5 to 10 people's 100 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I feel like a broken record saying that, but I'm glad that's. I haven't even prompted you for something like that.
I've always thought that.
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
you're there to have fun. I'm not on stage to make money or get endorsements or any of that. I'm up to play the music I've made and enjoy.
Yeah, if you're not enjoying playing what you've written, why have you written it?
Yeah,
Why are you even
and the thing is, I
bothered?
think it's actually a waste of time from the band's point of view as well, because I've seen what prompted me to get into a band was I saw so many bands who would just be on stage and I'd be like, this is boring, it's embarrassing, you're actually taking up precious time. People have actually come out to enjoy a show, and you're just not, you don't have to deliver like a massive theatrical show, but at least give them something to go away with and think that was actually really good. The band actually care about what they're doing rather than just being like, yeah, we just come here to just play music and whatever.
It was on the calendar.
It was on the calendar, like, you know, next please. It's like, no.
Well, that's,
Every gig's got to be good, yeah.
well, that's another thing that shows in art, doesn't it? It's the fact that if you do it for the money, it could be a popular one-hit wonder, but if you do it for the love of it, you will get fans for life, won't you, really?
I think it's more important to have integrity than fame. Because if you have your integrity, then fans are going to respect you more. Whereas if you just do a song to appease people or what's popular, you're going to probably get up the ladder a bit more, but you're not going to...
Yeah.
Fans aren't going to respect you.
Yeah, you see it a lot in the Monday when bands get bigger and bigger. They sort of change their style to accommodate for the mainstream. Really, you crawl up, say, from maybe to a metal band, you soften your sound because you want to make that radio play, and it almost reflects in the musicians themselves. They seem less happy to be playing still, but they're still getting the money. That's the most important thing at that point, really, and it's quite depressing.
Yeah, it is. I'd say so. Yeah.
Cool. See, for me, I wouldn't even be bothered. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to make some money, but I'm not even bothered. I've always said that I never ever want to be famous. Like, you know, you see pop stars and that literally walk down the street and get swarmed. I'd absolutely hate that.
I would too. Yeah.
I'd much rather if I walked in, say, Sal or someone and heard one of our songs, I'd be over the moon.
Yeah.
And especially if I see someone in the corner just like.
Or if
tapping along to it.
Or if someone says that song meant a lot to me and I actually really enjoyed it, or someone got a lot out of it, that would be for me. Personally, that would be like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
You know, I speak on behalf of these guys as well with that. So.
Cool. Who's the band member that's not here today? I've forgotten to ask that.
Alex Sang, our famous rhythm guitarist.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. I thought we'd best mention him.
He's been left behind in Sheffield.
Yeah, because you had a gig last night.
Yes, we did.
And how did that go?
It was really awesome.
Surprisingly well. We were the only Notts-based band on the lineup.
Yeah?
It was very last minute. A friend of mine gave me a shout and said, oh, this promoter's putting on a free show in Sheffield, and we were like, should we jump on it? Because, you know, we need to, although we like playing in Nottingham, something a bit different, you know, it's something a bit different. We can branch out our sounds, people who maybe, because it was a free show as well, you got people who were just coming in off the street and just were like, this is cool. And got a lot of good feedback, and it was, Sheffield's got a really good reputation for good, like hardcore metal music, you know, like While She Sleeps, you know, Malevolence, you know, could go on, like Bring Me the Horizon, I guess. I'm not really into myself, but you know, it's
The old era of
it's
You know, every time you tap that table, we're going to hear it on the podcast.
but yeah, I mean, Sheffield's got a great reputation, so it's good to play in the city with such a, you know, a good vibe. Yeah.
So who were the other bands, did you say?
Back called 0.0, Donetsk
and Realms as well.
Realms, all really good bands. Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of Realms. That was the one, because we've chatted a little bit before.
Yeah.
And I'd heard of 0.0, but I have heard of Realms, and I've seen it on a few bills, to be honest.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
So, how does Sheffield compare to Nottingham then?
I suppose it's harder a lot because at that point you're basically going in as if you just started again. Any new city is a new task for you, really. No one knows who you are.
Yeah.
Anyone comes down is expecting to see the other bands, and you're just that bit on the side. So it's a challenge to keep people's interest on you, and not just for the friends and girlfriends of everyone else playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, from the sounds of it, we actually got some people from the smoking area just gone, they sound alright, let's have a look.
Yeah.
But I'm well happy with it.
We did have quite a sizable crowd to say the least, really.
Yeah, it was good.
Cool. So, Okay, are you lot originally from Notts, or did you move here like myself?
Born and bred.
Where are you from then?
I'm from Chilwell.
All right.
Area, yeah.
Still in Chilwell?
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm just from Sherwood, so just down the road.
Yeah.
A 58 into town and you can get pissed nice and easy. That's why I'm happy to be here.
And turn up late.
That's what going in the podcast.
I'm originally from Mansfield, so yeah.
All right, fair play.
Moved up Nottingham with my missus, and so yeah.
Cool. When I first moved up here in 2009, the 23rd of December, I still remember that date. Wow. Can't find my train ticket anywhere, but I had to stop in Nottingham, and I had my army bag on my back. And I'd asked where the train from Mansfield was, and the ticket woman looks at me up and down, and she goes, "I hope you brought your stab vest." I was just like, what the hell have I just moved to? I've come from this lovely, quaint little, quiet Oxfordshire town to somewhere that I'm asked to wear a stab vest. Yeah. But I can totally say that Mansfield isn't as bad as that, and I don't think Nottingham's as bad as that. But, you do something wrong and no one forgets. You do something right and no one bloody remembers, do they?
Mansfield has got a bit of a bad reputation, but it's not as bad as it sounds.
Just pity there's not the same venues in Mansfield anymore. There used to be the Town Mill, and that closed down.
Mill,
Yeah.
Intake. There were loads of good shows, but I think they've only got like one now.
They're
Two.
Brown Cows coming up, and I think the Bowl do quite a lot of gigs as well. Because when I read out the gig guide, also the Diamond. You see, I've got to start touring, really. So, what's your professions outside the band?
I work in admin, just for a uni. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a retail worker. I work in Wilco. The tragic life of thee. Yeah.
Fair play.
Warehouse operative.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you know how to drive a forklift?
No. I'm literally a guy who moves boxes.
Fair play. I'd have thought that would have been a good choice for a drummer.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I'm on my feet all day, and it's good fun.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. Right. How did you lot get started?
Well, that's a long story. Let's bullet point this. Well, initially, I joined a band quite a long time ago with an entirely whole different cast of members, and everyone just started to peel off, so you'd be left with the odd one or two people. And it eventually came down to a website called Join My Band, which is probably the Achilles heel of every band in Nottingham and the sort of UK. And that's where I met Squid, our drummer, and we just kind of jammed together with our old vocalist at the time, who shall not be named. And it just kind of went well from there, really.
Yeah, me and you got another got a bassist and another vocalist. Them two, well, they didn't really seem into the style we was after, because me and you hit nail on the head with each other what we're aiming for music wise.
Yeah.
And then we finally got a kind of full lineup, and then the lead singer then moved on to another band because it didn't really suit him being the front man. I don't think he was comfortable, all the limelight on him.
Yeah.
And then we eventually found Matt, didn't we?
Yeah. Because I was on Join My Band as well, searched for a band for the best part of maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
Tried out with different bands, mainly in the punk scene, maybe in the hardcore scene. But when I saw the advert on there, there's mainly I thought, even though it's not what I'd initially go to, I think the amalgamation could really work. It was like hardcore and metal, and I thought, and when I jammed with them, I really gelled with them. We all like The Simpsons, which is the main
reason we're friends.
The main big draw we have each other.
What's your favourite Simpsons quote?
Oh, you had to.
I'm probably. This is a big one.
That's a tough one.
This is like a huge one. Yeah. Anything by Hans Moleman probably is good, but I'd say Principal Skinner was like, "Am I so out of touch?" No, it's the children who are wrong. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I really love that. They're milking rats. Rats. I'm outraged. I want a dog or hire.
I've always liked the bit where Lisa joins the college gang and she goes back home in the car, and then Homer's inside going, "I drink a lager drink. I drink a whiskey drink. When I go to pee, I use the kitchen sink."
little party house.
I think Mr. Burns is probably one of the best characters as well.
Yeah.
I specifically said no geeks. We should do that next time we apply for a band member applies to like specifically said no geeks.
See, for me, it's just his yes.
I bring love and peace.
Bring love, get him.
But when Alex, the member is not here, but when he came to us, we said, okay, so you seem really good on the guitar and you seem like you're interested in the type of style we are. First question, do you like The Simpsons? And he went, yes. I'm like, you're in. You're in. No questions asked. And when someone says they don't like The Simpsons, I'm like, shall we have them?
Yeah.
Shall we
It's
have
funny
them?
enough as well because Alex is another member we met on Join My Band, so we literally are an internet band.
Yeah.
Have you wrote a song called JoinMyBand.com?
Keep an eye on the coming months.
They're on to us.
What compelled you all to be into the alternative scene?
Ooh,
That's a good question.
See, for me, it's the music, because I've played pop, I've played rock, I've played just about any genre I can think of. I've even played opera, and my God, it's boring. Because I used to be obsessed with like Maroon 5 back in the day and that sort of crap. But then, literally, someone showed me Bullet from a Valentine and Linkin Park. I was just like, oh, but the screaming, but I like the drumming. And then I kind of just kept listening to the drumming, and then I liked the guitar and I liked the vocals, and I kind of got the reason why you scream and why you do all that. And then I just exploded. And
Did you get into any real metal after that?
Yes.
I'll take my leave, sir.
Okay, I like Linkin Park, but Bullet for My Valentine, I've never got it.
See, for me, it was just, I think I was at the right age where the whole emo scene, I was at school, everyone's got fringe and that, I couldn't do it because I got terribly curly hair. Yeah, have you ever seen an emo with a curly fringe? It's awkward. So it was just right for me because it had the singing, it had a bit of screaming in, and it kind of got me into the screaming bit, which I was happy about. And I mainly got hit in the face with Slipknot, Iowa. And that was like, oh yeah, that'll do. Yeah. That it was literally Before that was Devil Driver. What was the song? My brother used to play the same song over. I could care less.
That's a tune.
Devil Driver.
That's a tune.
And he just had that on constant. I'm like, oh, that's just screaming. And then I again listened to the drums, got into it, and
Cool.
yeah. So it was mainly Devil Driver, Slipknot, Bullet from a long time, but
He's gone quiet now. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out.
Yeah, you might want to skip my taste and go to Matt.
to be honest, up till I can't even think of probably Waking the Demons album. I like that bit, but then afterwards it's just they got too
overproduced.
Yes,
and stuff.
that's the one.
Yeah, I suppose in my case it was a weird one because I was originally I used to play the trumpet before I actually joined any metal bands. So I used to enjoy orchestral and brass based music, and what stemmed me into the more sort of heavy alternative scene was probably for a lot of grabs at the time was Guitar Hero. Really, yeah, you pick up that plastic controller and you're basically just shown a whole other world of music, and then obviously you just start latching on to what you prefer. So I think mine was Guitar Hero 3, so I started with the likes of, it was like Danzig and like Drist, some really sort of like other side of the metal scene, and then obviously went on to Maiden. Then what really like stuck me to the music I like today was hearing the likes of Lamb of God, All That Remains, As I Lay Dying, Behemoth, Fell Swoop, and obviously the biggest band for me probably ever is Trivium, which literally cemented my style in the sort of band, and it's literally the music that they make really connects with me on not just an emotional level but a musical level as well. It's everything I'd want in a band and to help express myself, really.
Cool.
So
Yeah. I actually grew up on the hip hop music.
Yeah.
I used to listen to a lot of Tupac and that sort of thing. And then when I was about 12 or 11 or 12, I got introduced to The Offspring, and that kind of just blew my mind because I got into all the skate punk like Offspring, Pennywise, and that to me still is one of my favourite genres just because it was so intense and it was against what a lot of people I knew were listening to. Like I didn't really have a lot of friends growing up, so it was more like I identified with the alienation they were talking about, you know, going against the mainstream. I really liked it. Then when I was around about 14 or 15, my mate introduced me to Hatebreed, and that literally just blew my mind. It was Rise of Brutality. We were just hanging out at my mate's house, and he goes, check this band out called Hatebreed. And as soon as Tear It Down came on, I was like, this is it. And that got me into hardcore, and I moved steadily a bit more away from punk and more into hardcore. And then I started listening to bands like mainly like Slipknot, and that got me into the metal side of things. And then I was to Kill Switch, and that got me into metalcore. And then I actually then started listening to reggae a lot more. So it's kind of been all over the place, but I've always stuck to the heavy aggressive side of things. So I look around at the world and think, how can you not be angry about what's going on in the world? And I identify with things like hardcore and punk with what they were talking about. So
That's
the intensity and the anger was what really drew me to those genres.
That's one thing I forgot to say in the in my introduction to us starting this. Just 2 rules on this podcast: no Brexit, no politics.
Yeah.
Just before you get there. You seem like you were going that way. Okay, when you told me what your band's about, and now that you've just explained how you got into the alternative scene, I can really fully appreciate, and also seeing you live, and one of your songs has been on the podcast, I can fully appreciate the way you're saying you're trying to get away from the whole everybody's a 7-string or 8-string and the general monotony, because just from listening to the 3 of you, there's so many different backgrounds and influences. Does a lot of that go into your music?
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely, I think it wouldn't be right to let any one member sit out in a song, to be honest, because truly, how can you say you've worked on something if everyone else wrote it? Because otherwise you're essentially a session or covers musician playing everyone else in the band's music. And the main reason we're all together is because, if anything, we're all different, and that allows us to discover new styles and new musics in anything, and it might, even in the future, form a whole new style of thing. And that's how it will be. And well, that's our point, really.
Definitely, I agree. 100%.
Cool. So how many? Because I know you said you've already recorded a couple of songs. How many songs have you got, or albums?
No albums yet. We just got the one single, "Carry You," and we're recording. We've got about 4 or 5 songs.
We've got about 5 songs. We're writing a 6th at the minute, and we've got a couple more songs. They're more just covers coming up for a surprise announcement gig we've got coming up in a couple months now, isn't it? The gig itself.
Yes.
Sorry.
But me are completely blank, man.
I'm just checking. But I think the next thing we're gonna decide to do is either we're gonna do a single with a video attached to it, because I think the next thing people need to see is the band, of course, or we're gonna probably go for an EP. Which, to be honest, I think getting as much of the music out there as possible in one go is probably the best thing to do. So there's enough of a library for people to like, instead of just a single.
Do you want to tell me who recorded "Carry You"?
It was Bolty, wasn't it? Ian Bolt in Stuck on the Name Studios, absolute legend. Known the guy for
brilliant, absolutely
going on about 10 years, and he looks after the bands. He doesn't charge ridiculous amounts for his recording.
We pay him book fast.
But he's honestly a really nice guy, and like we were like, we want it done this way, and he was like, sound.
Literally value for money. Definitely.
Absolutely great.
Did he do the whole process, the recording, mixing and mastering then?
He did recording and mixing. We had to send it off to get it mastered, but it was from one of his close friends that he recommended for us, and he got us money off because of that as well, so that's doubly happy, really, isn't it?
Cool.
Yeah, he's a real treasure to work with as well, because he's so down to earth. He's not being like, because obviously he listens to way more of like alternative side of music to most of us. But it doesn't bother him at all. He was enjoying recording with us, and the fact that he could get on everyone's level and make everyone feel so comfortable makes the experience more worthwhile.
He's made the Nottingham scene what it is, I'd say. Like, so many bands have started out, from Stuck on a Name. Like, he's helped the scene out no end. He doesn't ask for much in return. He just does it because he loves it. So ultimate respect.
Well, and then that's why I like to ask about people in the background, because there's a lot more to a band than just the actual members that you see sometimes.
I mean, our artist, a guy called Shindy, he does Shindy design. He's amazing. Like, he literally would be like, we want it done this way, and he would go, awesome. And he did it how exactly we wanted it.
Exactly,
Cool. Right. Is there any special mentions about yourselves? Something people don't know? Like a stamp collecting hobby?
This is where we're all really fucking boring outside of bands.
Fair play.
Well, I suppose it's just the standard, really. Like we've all got our own hobbies in our own right. I'm quite an avid gamer and everything like that. And
Xbox or PC or
Nintendo. Really.
Nintendo.
I'm more
old school.
Yeah, I kind of prefer that sort of stuff because I've always been more of a fan of a more compelling story. I don't like the same first-person shooter for where I've paid 60 quid for a 3-hour game and a 12-year-old child to cuss my mum out to the end of time itself.
That's really bad because I used to be obsessed with Counter-Strike. Oh my god, the amount of hours I've put into that was ridiculous.
Tony Hawk's Underground was the game for me, man.
I'd say we've got so many good songs of Tony Hawk.
Oh my god, the soundtrack is why I'm into so many. Like I heard Sublime on
Rise Against were on there as well.
They were on there.
Skindred.
And there like so many bands. I'm like, this is an incredible soundtrack. Who created this? What a genius!
I know, yeah.
I mean, even the likes of Motorhead and the first couple of PS1 games.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
A band called
I think it was the Ramones as well.
Zeke on there as well on Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, I think it was. Was that a game?
Yeah.
I remember I heard this band called Zeke on there, who are basically like Motorhead mixed with Napalm Death. Really
Wow.
band. Yeah, it's like an incredible band. They play so fast.
Yeah, In Flames as well.
I'm gonna have to look them up.
Yeah, Embodied Invisible.
Yes,
Embodied
love that
Invisible. What a
song.
game, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I could talk for hours about Tony Hawk.
Well, that's hence why I do these podcasts, because you find out so much like little details and you go on so many tangents, and I think some of the best ones were like wrestling ones, and it's like, what? Where's this come from?
Yeah.
I think that's amazing to get an insight into people, and hence why I've started this, and hence I just love this scene, and there's so much more to this scene than
The scene is getting really good now as well. Like, I don't know if it's just because I've helped, be part of a band that I'm seeing it more now, but like so many good bands coming out now, even from overseas, and just it's so good. Like the metal, hardcore scene and punk scene, it's just all getting better.
Yeah.
Like, all the bands are helping each other out, which is really good. There's no kind of like division,
Yeah.
which is great because there's too many divisions in real life. There's, we don't need divisions in music, the scene as well.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you could I'm gonna give a shout out to Chris Martin of IKE, really, because he's definitely cemented the scene a lot more for alt bands, because he's he works basically every venue around here.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the likes of the fact it's now gone, which is an absolute heartache that we've lost Macmillan Fest.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for things like that, most bands that are around on the scene nowadays would never get the recognition they deserve. Paying such a cheap price to see so many local bands, it helps on such a massive level.
Yeah.
So how was Macmillan Fest for you?
Amazing.
I think
Now that I'm sober.
probably the highlight of our band, I think, was Macmillan Fest.
Yeah.
It was really good because we were playing Albert's, and downstairs in Albert's there was this huge table in the middle of the venue.
I've got pictures.
And we got there and we were like, oh, this is going to be a bit annoying because it's going to disperse the crowd. And we got a shout out saying, oh, the rescue room stage has become available, and we were like, let's play the rescue rooms. That'd be awesome, because it's a dream of mine to play the rescue rooms or Rock City, because that'd be just amazing to play there. Such iconic venues.
Yeah.
Anyway, we said we didn't get the chance to obviously play it, but then we were like, let's get a circle pit going around the table. That'd be a bit of fun. And people did it, and we were like, this is sick.
Yeah, and I thought my infinite was, I'm going to go stand on that table.
Yeah. So I'd say Macmillan Fest was really good, and we were on a really good slot as well. Like, because I think if we played too early, it wouldn't have been as good. I think if we played too late, it wouldn't have been.
Yeah, because obviously you clash with the bigger bands at that point, really.
Yeah.
But we played at about 5:30, and it was just an ideal time.
Yeah, I think it's the gift and the curse at the same time to have a band drop out, because obviously it's a shame for people who wanted to see that band, but at the same time it encourages them to go and look at new music and new bands. So it really works out.
And they're really pushing like a lot of local bands now.
Yeah.
Macmillan Fest. I mean, whatever takes over Macmillan Fest, I hope something does. It's equally pushing local bands.
Yeah.
Then
You still keep tapping that table. I was literally.
it's a nervous twitch.
See them two looking at you like, he's done it again.
Put my hands behind my head.
It's just the
I really appreciate what you say with that, because yes, Macmillan Fest is just, it was an anomaly to itself, in my opinion, and I think the whole thought behind it was brilliant, especially for charity. And talking along the lines of Chris anyway, because I met you guys at Metal to the Masses last year.
Yes.
Now, have you heard where it's being held this year?
Yes.
And are you entering?
Yes, we have entered it, and it's quite interesting that it's been held at the Tap. I wasn't expecting that. I did personally think it would have been Albert's, per se, just sheerly because of size of staging and everything like that, because a big part of a band's performance is the performance. The Tap is a brilliant venue. I've played there many a time. It's so welcoming, and the crowd is always interested in seeing some new people, like new bands playing there. It's just Albert's is obviously a lot more accessible for some people. I'm speaking as a musician, of course.
I've said it over and over in the podcast, and I think it's one of the best things that they could have done with the Metal to the Masses in Nottingham, because it's free entry. If you sign up to the guest list, then you get a voting slip. So don't forget to tell all your fans, sign up to the guest list, get a voting slip, or else they won't be able to vote.
Of course.
But it's going to open up so much more people to see your music. And I've got to be honest, I think every night through the heats is going to be packed.
It really will be, and I think the incentive that the final's been held at the rescue rooms is a drive in its own right, really, because like
you just said you want to play there, so you're going to have to play really good.
You can bribe to win. Let's just say it moved me to a bigger stage.
Right, I'm going to ask you one more question, then we're going to take a break. And then we'll come back for the second half.
Okay.
But what hurdles have you guys personally faced with your band, and how did you overcome them?
Well, I suppose one of the most interesting ones is completing the lineup. Really. We don't have a bassist still, and I wish Alex was here to actually talk about it, because he's covered that end for us. He's actually set up another rig on the side where he's playing guitar and bass at the exact same time.
Oh, what, through split pickups?
Literally one guitar, like splitting it through in pedals and everything like that.
Right.
And it works quite well. I'm quite surprised.
It's getting a lineup as well where everyone's... I mean, no one's going to be on exactly the same wavelength as each other completely. Like, we're all going to have different opinions about music or different opinions about the type of crowds we want to play in front of. But I think finding guys just want to have a laugh with, and just, you can be around and not want to kill each other.
I have known, I think there's probably about 5 bands I know at the moment that don't have a bassist.
It's hard,
Like I was saying to you before the podcast, I make cables, and I know one band has gone to my company. Well, he emailed me first and was like, dude, I need this set up because I'm putting a separate pickup on my guitar to put the bass through. And I was like, all right, this is the cable you need, here's the connectors you need. Call my boss and we'll get it made. And it's a bit of a shame, because the low end can be such a vital part of certain sounds. Now, I'm kind of starting to sort out a project where there's just going to be 2 of us, the drummer and me. And I'm trying to work out ways of trying to get more low end in. So it's going to be a case of using the MacBook and a little plug-in that'll pick up on all the chords I'm doing, and then I can pipe it through a synth. But that'll be something completely off the wall, and I really would advise everyone not to come and watch if this does get off the ground. But from what I saw at Albert's, do you think it takes anything away from your style of music or not, or do you work to not having a bassist?
We just kind of just adapted to it, haven't we? We just kind of come to terms with the fact that getting a bass player has just been really, really difficult. Like, I'm joining my band. It's a great way for networking and finding people, but people don't respond on it. People are just very blasé. You say, we want genre, this style, these bands, this kind of thing. But then people go, actually, I don't like metal. I'm like, well, why are you asking to join then? If you don't, that's kind of thing. It's weird things like that. And then you having back and forth conversations, and then they say, oh, sorry, I've joined another band. I'm like, okay, all these weeks of talking about when we're going to jam together has just been wasted, and it's a bit annoying. So that's been a bit hurtful, I would say.
The amount of times I've proposed saying, I'm drummer of Those Ones Loyal, looking for a bassist, these are our influences. Get like, I'm in a punk band, do you want to join? I'm looking for a bassist, not I want to play the band. Yeah, you do get some awkward ones.
The thing is, drummers are in demand, so I can understand why. Why
Bass players are in demand now. I'm seeing drummer posts on join my band like left, right, and centre, but no bass players. I'm like, where are they all gone?
I know.
They're all doing podcasts because I love it. But honestly, bass has always been my first real instrument that I learned, and it's. Like I say, it's such a rhythmic part of a band if played properly. But nowadays, most bass players just one finger or a pick, and they're just playing the notes off the rhythm guitar. And it's like, did you know that bass goes all the way from the low end to the high end?
What a frets for you.
It has such heaviness as well. Like bass literally does make a band sound so much heavier.
Yeah, because like when I do think about it, if we had an actual bassist, it would tighten up the low end so much. I mean, as much as Alex has done a lot, it's not a real bass at the end of the day, and I think it would work well with you as well, wouldn't it? Something to latch onto, yeah.
100%.
But I will stress, it has not taken anything away from your live performance from what I saw.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I really did thoroughly enjoy watching you guys, from what I can remember.
We just dive into the crowd because we don't have a bass player.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, quick, move around a lot, make up the stage.
Dive on people's heads and stuff.
I think that's a good way of overcoming it, though, especially like doing something with the rhythm guitar and just becoming more entangled with the crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it was the Dark Horse that I saw play at Metal to the Masses. The bass player's bass broke, and the bassist just was like, no, ain't doing it, walked off, started filming. And the guitarist and the drummer just took it away. And honestly, it was like, wow, okay, this is a stunning performance.
It's never going to go the way you want it to, so you kind of have to just,
it looks
make
more,
the best of the
it looks more
situation,
professional to carry on as if nothing changed, really, doesn't it? Yeah.
If something breaks, you can't just be like kicking the...
Ad hoc and improvise.
Exactly,
yeah.
Not running off for your sticks.
The amount of times I've turned up to a gig or something, and like we've had a practice week before, come up to a gig, like, right, setting up all me 13 cymbals.
How many cymbals you got?
13.
How many hands you got?
2.
I'm just checking the math.
More is more better. No, it's like...
Bring back the drum rack, mate.
That's another story. Basically, like, pointing on my cymbals, and I just feel a crack. I'm just like, sugar. I've got to try and adapt. I mean, if I lose my main big china, I'm shot in the fall. But I think it was at Albert's when my china was literally had a crack, and I'm just like, I can't. So lobbed it, grabbed another one, and you just adapt, really.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, we'll take a break.
Sweet.
And then we'll come back for the Knots and Rock section. We are actually in the Salutation Cromwell Snug. It's my home away from home now. This is my little office.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll come back in 5 minutes.
That's
Sweet.
cool. Cheers.
Okay, if you've been following, you know the theme right now is copyright on YouTube's an absolute bitch. So get on the podcast players and listen to NottsRockCast.
Football in the groin.
Right, are you all ready?
Yeah.
Cool, right, welcome back. We're into the second section with Those Once Loyal. And as I said, we're in the Salutation in the Cromwell Snug. I heard just before you guys turned up that they keep ordering more and more food for their Sunday roasts, and it just keeps going up and up. So I was a bit like, oh, well, is it going to be that busy that I'm not going to get this room at 3 o'clock because I've got another band to chat with? Okay. Bit of a loaded question, I've been told. But what do you guys love and enjoy about Nottingham itself, not so much the alternative scene, because I'll be asking you that later?
Nottingham is a city.
Yes.
I'd say everything's very close to each other. You don't have to walk very far to get to one pub to another, which is very, very convenient.
Yeah.
I'd say Nottingham's got a very diverse scene. A lot of things going on, a lot of independent cinemas, which I like. They used to have a lot more good record stores, which I hope come back in the future. They used to have Slap to Disc back in the day. But I think it's very diverse. Everything's very close to each other, and it's kind of home for me. So
I think it's definitely got to be the idea of it's quite a grassroots town. A lot of independent businesses seem to start out here. You've got like Donuts and a lot of the Hockley area are independent businesses, and it supports the small town quite a lot.
Yeah.
Personally, and obviously it's it's quite easy to get to. There's so many different travel links to get in and out of Nottingham, and it's quite a vibrant nightlife as well. Depending on where you go, obviously you've got like Emojos, you've got the Sal, you've got the Tap, and everything like that. So it caters to quite a lot of people, which is quite cool.
Nottingham's food is phenomenal. every time I come into, it's very rare I come into Notts because family life and all that. It's always Nottingham food, and then just wherever for drinks. But yeah.
That is a tasty burger.
That was one of the first few pubs I went to when I first came into Nottingham and was checking out all the pubs, and I liked it back then, really did. It was really quite a dive. I know they've really upped the place now. It was good. And like you said, the food was amazing from what I remember.
Oh yeah, well, say back when I used to live in Mansfield, it used to be every Saturday, travel up there, Nottingham food, go tap or somewhere for a few pre-drinks, and then go to Rock City for what used to be hey, and get absolutely slaughtered and make the last bus for Mansfield, which I have missed a couple of times.
I can one up on that, because when I used to travel here, literally I lived in Ollerton, and there was a bus every hour, and it took an hour and 40 minutes for that bus to get back.
Yeah.
And if you missed that one at like 11:15, that wasn't that wouldn't have been cheap taxi, or I'd have been sleeping in the bus stop at Victoria Centre. Okay, do any of you guys know a myth or a story local to Nottingham that you've heard?
I suppose you all know the legend of Wycliffe, the sort of homeless dude who used to be, was it a backing singer to someone, or dancing to someone really famous?
Yeah, that's what Chris was talking about in his podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris.
Everything.
That's cool. And I did speak to the guy that I used to work with, Marcus, and he was telling me about him as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many little things crop up.
It is, yeah.
Anything else you guys can think of? Or should we just skip that one?
No, I don't really know many myths around Nottingham.
Yeah, today I've been around pretty much all my life. I literally zilch about the myths.
Right. What's your most favourite part of Notts or Nottinghamshire?
I would say the Hockley area, just because again it's so diverse. It's got a lot of really cool venues, really cool place to drink. Cool place to eat. I'd say Hockley, for me.
Yeah, I'd probably say sort of the area you got for, like the Rock City Alberts rescue rooms, because that's obviously where the heart of all of them, like the main music scene is really, on all the live gigs, because it obviously stretches down just over to the tap, so you can have a drink there, as mentioned before, and then go and enjoy what you do otherwise.
Yeah. That's literally what I was going to say. That whole strip of Rock City, Nottingham again, rescue rooms, tap, and even Sal. It was one of them nights where you just like, you don't want to go get hammered, you just come to the cell, chill with drinks, or even if they've got some good live bands on, just go upstairs and snap your neck.
Nothing to do with the band.
This is good neck snap.
We should have a sample before snapping music.
Have you ever done the karaoke on a Friday night in here?
Oh yeah, many times.
Badly?
No, not badly.
Your opinion.
That's subjective, isn't it? Yeah. I've done quite a few karaoke nights here. Yeah. I can remember.
I love it. I really must get back down and actually do a Friday night, but at the end of my working week, I'm quite tired.
That gives a shout sometime. We'll do karaoke together. Yeah. Cool. karaoke podcast.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. I'm stealing that. Karaoke podcast from NottsRockCast, hosted by those ones.
It'll be like that Flaming Mo episode where it's like, Matt who? I gave him the idea.
Well, maybe we could turn it into a competition and get you lot as a panel of judges.
I don't think we're the best people to know karaoke. I miss my calling, mate.
too much.
Simon Cowell, watch out.
It's good, but it's not hate breed.
Where's the gang vocal?
That's brilliant.
Come on, Simon Cowell saying it right now. It's good, but it wasn't one call.
Fair play. Right, this one's a bit of a hypothetical one. So a person gets off the train or bus, then checks into their hotel, and then they come down to the bar that you're at and asks you, I've never been to Nottingham before. Where's the one place you suggest I check out next?
It depends what they're into. If they're into sort of good dive bars, I'd say Foreman's Bar.
Yep.
I'd say Foreman's Bar. If they want to watch a good film, I'd say go Savoy or Broadway. Don't go Cineworld. I'd say either Broadway or Savoy.
Yeah.
If they want to drink in, a good rock bar, like an old rock bar, I'd say here or Tap.
Yeah, really, yeah. I mean, that's basically my kind of answer, really. It's obviously a subjective answer at the end of the day. Really. You need to know more about the person before you can give them a suggestion. Otherwise, you just fire out a load of the sort of local establishments.
Okay. What questions would you ask them?
What sort of music are you into?
Are you alone?
Do you have any family or
Do you like Nottingham metalcore?
Do you want to come to my gig? It's free.
John Simpson.
Cool. I started asking that question, and now that you've just said that, I'm like, wow, okay, yeah, there's a lot more to it, and but I'm kind of going for the one place that always springs to mind.
It's like a personal favourite for someone else to go to.
Oh
really.
yeah, if someone did turn around and say, where's the one place I should check out next, my head always turns around and says the most stupidest thing, check out the City of Caves, because I never stop talking about fucking caves. And yeah, you can get into the City of Caves, and you can also get into the Justice Museum.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
I think Willet's Hark is a good. My mate came from Australia to visit, and I was like, oh god, what's he gonna do? Like Nottingham, I can't really think of anything to do as a tourist. I just live here.
I mean, because you always got to remember the castle as well.
But yeah, I took him to Willet Park, took him to the caves, the castle. Yeah, it was wicked. Yeah, and he loved it.
Yeah. You can have a good day out there, yeah.
My older and my younger brother came down the other week to come and watch the rugby match, and it was 8:30 in the morning, so we'd ended up having a couple of drinks, ended up in the South Bank, and they're all like, what should we do next, and like the old adage of Shaun of the Dead came to mind. Let's go to the Sal and check out the caves. So I ended up taking my two brothers that aren't really into the alternative scene down here and had a really good time. And they were shocked to see how deep this place goes, which is a really random thing.
Yeah, it's awesome, yeah.
Okay, what is your most treasured musical object? Now, it doesn't have to be an instrument. Other than your broken china cymbal.
It's funny you say that, because I've actually got. It's my little china, and I've had it. It's the first cymbal I actually bought. It's I'm sure it's 10-inch china cymbal, stag one, and I've had it for 13 years ish, something like that. It's the first cymbal I ever bought that wasn't. I mean, I got my drum kit that came with basic pack of cymbals. I was just looking around the shop. I just want an accent cymbal. I just saw this stag china, and yeah, I've had it since. It's not cracked, it's not broke. Now I've said it, it's gonna crack next week. But yeah, that's my most treasured one because it's never failed, and it sounds sweet. Cool.
Yeah, I suppose mine's probably got to be the first guitar that I ever got given, really, and obviously, when you're a kid, you get given the lowest end of the lowest end. So I went to Toys R Us and picked the edgiest looking thing I could think of. So it's a pointy guitar with skulls on it.
That's so metal.
Yeah, it's so metal. I'm an angry boy, yeah.
Have you still got it?
Yeah, I've still got it, yeah. It's pretty much in the exact same condition as it was. I always go in and have a little go on it every now and then because I'm going to be that guy and piss off a lot of musicians now, but a Strat sounds like a Strat to me no matter what end of the spectrum it is. So I can just have a lot of...
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
I've got... I've got two Strats at home.
Yeah.
They're Squire, but I've played a Fender and I'm not
same.
impressed.
No, it doesn't make a difference to me. But I'm not going to start any more arguments because that's semi-political as well. Isn't it? But yeah, I do remember to pick it up every now and then, give it a little clean, give it a little play, because it's obviously not built for the sound that we have now. But you've always got your other interests you like to play as well. And
What do you play now?
well, instrument-wise, on stage actively, I play Epiphone Matt Heafy custom Les Paul guitar, and I've got it signed as well. I've got the scratch plate signed, but I don't have it on because I don't like scratch plates really. And as well as that, I've just managed to fix it up now, so I'll be bringing my Flying V back into the range, which is a Phil Demmel signature series guitar. I'm not obsessed with bands; they're just good and cheap on eBay. That's where I am.
Fair play.
Yeah.
My Fisher Price microphone. Legit had one as a kid. No, I'd say my acoustic guitar. I do play a bit of guitar, but it's mainly just like, regular A, D chords and like just punk stuff. But yeah, I'd say my guitar is black guitar because I love Johnny Cash, so it was like, you have to get a black acoustic guitar, definitely. Yeah. The guy was like, do you not want a brown one or I'm like, no, it has to be black. Yeah. This is metal.
As he stood there buying an acoustic guitar.
Fair play, man. Fair play.
Every musician obviously really resonates to a different musical object, and it's such a personal thing, isn't it? And I don't think you can really tell people that much of how personal it can be.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Waffling too much about something that no one really cares about. They go like, oh, yeah, no, wow, nice, yeah, shut up.
Well, like I said, I've got a studio that's just full of so much equipment, and quite a lot of it people have probably never heard of. But it's my personal equipment.
Of course. Yeah.
So, like, that's why I like asking that question, because it was my wife who came up with it, and she said, well, it doesn't have to be a musical instrument. And I'm like, well, that's absolutely brilliant. And people have said, like, photos and T-shirts and stuff. And yeah, it's so much personal stuff, and makes being in a band such a bigger thing.
Yeah, of course.
Like gig tickets as well. Like, I have a wall of gig tickets that I've got, and some of them you're so faded now you can't actually see what they say. It's like, does that say Slayer or Slade? You'll never know. Man. You'll never know.
Says Slayer.
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
I couldn't believe the other day that I heard a Slade song that wasn't their fucking Christmas song.
Wait, they're an actual band?
They
not a concert?
exist?
Yeah.
Someone asked me to do where Slade were from, and I remembered Wolverhampton because they got the Slade rooms. And I didn't actually know that was where it was named after.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
That's really cool.
A bit of fun fact for you.
Plays Christmas songs all year round. So, I sometimes ask this question, I sometimes don't, but personally, alt rock, metal or other, what is your genre if someone said what as a person defines you?
Ooh, you guys go first, and then I'll have some time.
I'll go first. Thrash.
Good choice. Good choice. What thrash band would you say is your favourite? And now I'm asking the question.
Welcome to NottsRockCast.
Metallica. But not just the first 3 albums. All of it, including the Lulu album.
Oh, bold choice.
If you like thrash, check out a band called Dr. Living Dead from Stockholm.
Yeah?
Yeah, very, very good.
Okay, I'll have a look at that.
Yeah.
Very suicidal tendencies meets Anthrax stuff.
Oh, cool.
And there's also Siberian Meat Grinder, who are very much a thrash, municipal waste kind of hardcore band from Russia, I think. Yeah, cool. Really good, yeah. Sorry, tangent then.
No, that's absolutely fine.
Alex would go first.
The genre that defines probably metalcore. Yeah.
Is that what's most on your MP3 player?
I've got my MP3 player. That literally stems from Slaughter to Prevail, or Deathcore to Tina Turner. Literally, I listen to all on it, but for me it is mainly metalcore, like Lamb of God, Killswitch, insert name in. There's loads.
Yeah, I mean that would be the same for me as well. Like, it is definitely metalcore that I would say this band is about. Obviously, we've got everything because, like, on Marek, like MP3 right now. Before I came in, I was listening to Chet Baker, and my all-time favourite band, which is probably Fly Off the Wall, is Muse as well. So
Muse?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I absolutely love Muse to death. And I try and incorporate it sometimes in sort of the music, sort of like the drony sort of minor chords, the chromatic changes and everything like that, which they're quite well known for. But I suppose it's the most generic response ever. Music is subjective. We can say what we are, but it's your opinion, really, isn't it?
Exactly. There's only two types of music: good music and shit music, and that's subjective to the person that's listening to it.
We try and aim for the good bit.
Yeah. That's just difficult for me. I mean, hardcore and punk are like the two, I'd say, define me. Like, I don't know. I like the ethics and the sort of the reasons why hardcore and punk came about. So that for me would be, I mean, I love metal. I love metalcore as well. But I'd say hardcore and punk for me are the two genres that I most enjoy. Definitely, 100%.
I was brought up on a staple of like 70s heavy metal when it really wasn't anything like metal today. It really, it's amazing. Have you ever seen that series called Metal Evolution?
I haven't, no.
Worth watching, really worth watching.
Is it on the BBC?
Check it out.
Is it on the BBC?
I don't know. It
sounds familiar.
He's from America, and he literally went from the grassroots of blues all the way to metal as it is today, and then forgot about extreme metal, so had to do an add-on, and was like, wow, how did I, miss that bit out?
Yeah.
But it's amazing how much progression there is, and I love progressive music.
Yeah. I suppose it's almost a gift and a curse for metal music nowadays how many subgenres there are, because there's such a weird combination of things now. It's almost hard to get bracketed into a genre.
Mathcore and
Did you say math or meth?
Mathcore. Sounds like meth to me.
Mathcore exists somewhere.
Yeah. They sold all their gear before they played the show for meth. So
Right then, name what you're all excited about in the upcoming 6 months. Can be personal, can be as the band.
Recording more music. I'm so psyched to get some more of our stuff. Just I mean, we've got one single on, and I use Deezer. I'm just seeing it pop up every now and again. I'm just like, yay!
It's surreal in a way, yeah.
I liked what you said when we were stood outside having a cigarette during the break about, recording. You get in a band and you get to the point of recording, then it disbands.
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate on that a bit more?
Oh, I've been in many bands, and there's been a couple of times where, the band I was in before this, we was getting close to recording, and then I think one of the guys basically said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to Australia." It's like, okay. So we'll try and find a replacement, and then we started going into pop punk, and that wasn't really for me, but I still try, and just dissipates like most of the bands I've been in does. It's just, this is the furthest I've gone with a band that's actually recorded something. It's always been, we're going to record, something happens, goes. I mean, the nail in the coffin for my last band was I had my first kid. I said, look, I'm going to need at least a month, just because first kid, no idea what I'm doing. I've got to look after another human being that's not just myself, so that's awkward as it is. But yeah, then messaged him after like a couple of weeks, just like, I'm getting into a routine, looking into coming band practice if we're all going for it, and they just went, no. And it's like, well, that's a good few years down the drain, but again, it's given me experience. There's some people I know, but to be honest, I took about a year off, and then I basically stumbled upon you when I was just seeing if there's anything about, and then we hit it off, didn't we?
100%,
Yeah.
Cool. So let me get on to the last question then. In your opinion, if you believe so, what do you think makes the Notts alternative scene great?
The fans. The people that go to the shows, people that go to all the shows, they'll buy the merch, buy the tickets, go for pre-sales, up front, rocking out with you. I say I don't wear my glasses, but I will see people on the front row, if I see them bobbing up and down, like they're enjoying it, and it gives me the drive to keep on going. And for me, that's one of the best things about Nottingham people is the fans that.
We've been mad lucky because we played a couple of shows at Albert's, and we've had people come up to us and been like, when you guys get merch, you're actually generally interested in what we're doing, and it's incredible. And that just, again, I think that's, I'm not seeing it in many of the cities really. I mean, I don't see it in Derby or Leicester very much. It's mainly Nottingham, where people are very enthusiastic about it, especially metalcore as well. Like Nottingham's got a huge metalcore fan base, which is great. So.
I mean, I wish I could say it was more along the lines of bands working together, but I've noticed the more time has gone on, the more bands are starting to emerge, the more it becomes a competition in its own right, which is quite sad because, we all want to get somewhere, but the best way you can do it is working together. Not just with your fans, but with anyone else.
There's so many great bands in Nottingham as well, and even just in the East Midlands, and like we'll have to work together definitely.
Of course you do. Yeah.
Otherwise, then it's going to be.
Give up.
I mean, a bit of competition is healthy, but not like to the point where it's like trying to sabotage another band's set or just being rude about the other band. It's not good.
It's not necessary, no way.
No, definitely not.
I'd say there's been a few times I've done like gigs in the past where I've seen a guy, I saw him go up to the headline gig, headlining band, and just like, oh mate, what was it? He wanted to borrow the hi-hat stand because he's left his back in wherever he came from, and I'm just like, no, you should have brought your own. I like. So I just went, dude, use mine, go for it. I'm on before you. I'll just leave it up there. And he was thankful. It's just little things like that. I can't understand. I mean, it's your gear. You're worried someone's gonna take the piss and break it or be too harsh with it. But if you don't, you can't just take. You've got to just give little bits and try and help out where you can. It's like.
I completely
100%.
I understand some people being precious about their gear. But as far as I'm concerned, especially being a guitarist myself, if I can break it, I shouldn't be playing it. People turn around all the time when they come into the studio. Oh, do you mind if I play this guitar? I'm like, yeah, crack on. What happens if I break a string? That's £5 pack, whatever. But what happens if I break the guitar? I said, look, if I can't break the fucking guitar.
There needs to be a community, definitely, like 100%.
Yeah, agreed.
I was going to say something earlier, and I completely forgot about it until you started saying about working together. Now, the music industry's changed a lot, whereas back in the 90s, it was very much, you had to be on a record label to get somewhere. But with the invention of like Spotify, iTunes, where you can self-upload CD Baby and
like
the adages, do you think it's taken away or added more to the scene?
It's difficult.
Because when you were talking about it earlier, about having more bands coming up and more people being about the place, I think it is due to the invention of the home recording studio and not necessarily needing to be on a label to get something out.
I think it's a blessing and a curse. I prefer having a physical album myself.
I
prefer having a physical album. Like I prefer having something I can hold. I don't really like streaming very much. I think it kind of there's something about having a CD or a vinyl that just it's like the artwork as well, just incorporates everything.
I mean, because at the end of the day, streaming gets a band nothing really. It's point one of a penny for.
But it's so easy, and like someone can say, oh, if you like this band, if you like those ones loyal, check out this other band that they sound like, or another band that are very about, and then it gets the scene bigger and like the.
And it doesn't promote them to listen on to your next song, does it?
No, and it doesn't. Also with streaming, like they can listen to individual songs, whereas I like to have an album and can listen to it from beginning to end, and that was always great for me because you could. Now people can pick and choose, which is good in a way, it gives them more choice, but it's just, I don't know.
It's just one of those times at the end of the day where I think because now everyone, like every band can be heard anywhere, at any time, at any point, it's sad, but it's whoever pays wins. Now, if you've got a lot of money, you'll probably do better than the other person.
And money makes money, doesn't it?
Of course it does,
so they say. But I honestly, every now and then, I will tell people, go out and see live bands and go and buy their merch. I honestly think
the band money.
I'm glad you agree with that, or else I've been saying it and saying the wrong thing. Well, I completely agree with that. How much merch do you guys take with you then?
Just t-shirts and stickers.
Yeah, we've only got t-shirts and stickers.
The t-shirts have been going on really well. Like we're really pleased with the outcome because it was like. we were back and forth between what we wanted the design to look like. It's come out exactly how we wanted it. And
Yeah.
like, when we see people wearing it, like we've got a few people overseas who want to wear it, and it's like the idea of someone in Australia or New Zealand or somewhere in a different country wearing our merch is just like insane. That's really awesome.
That reminds me, I really must buy one of your t-shirts. You're one of the local bands I haven't got a t-shirt for.
What size are you?
Extra large. No, yeah, extra large.
Oh, thank God we've got those.
Should have brought them with us.
I know, yeah.
Right, as always, I'd like you guys to have the last say on anything. So we're going to bring it to a close. Is there anyone you'd like to shout out, or is there anyone or anything you'd like to say before we finish?
Shout out to a few local bands.
Yeah.
That's cool. Shout out to bands like Walls and Sleep, Cave Killer, Midnight City for Me, Phoenix Lake, all these local bands.
Shout out to Pendulum's Fall, my other band.
Playing on the...
Shout outs to Empusa as well, and well, you've got the rest of them already. Yeah.
And Ike as well.
Absolutely, Frankie, and every other promoter that we've worked with as well, and any others that would like to work with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the lovely musicians that actually help people out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Get us a gig, just like, there's a slot here, you want it? Yeah.
And all the people who actually come to our shows who aren't friends of ours initially. Well, the friends of ours initially are wicked as well, but the people who haven't had to be like, oh yeah, you're a mate of ours, come to our show. People who just go, I checked out your band, I like it.
Yeah.
Those people are awesome.
Strangers who tolerate 30 minutes of core.
Yeah.
My favourite.
Where's the best place on social medias for people to check you out?
I probably would say just Facebook more than anything, as much as it seems like a dying format, really. It's probably the place where we're the most active and we get the most traffic, if anything, really. Yeah, because all our links for anything else are usually on there to go from.
Yeah. No, same with the podcast, to be honest. So I will put your link in the show notes because I have got it. And right, thank you very much for today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Been awesome.
Cool.
Thank you very much, Knots Rockers, for listening to NottsRockCast over YouTube. If you would like to check us out on your favourite podcast player, please search NottsRockCast. And don't forget, if you're on social media platforms, give us a like, give us a share. You'll find us at NottsRockCast. Anyway, till next time, keep it Knots, keep it rocks.
NottsRockCast is an association with Regular Riot. Welcome to NottsRockCast, the Notts Alternative Scene podcast. And here is your host, Jethro D, bringing you everything Notts and Rock.